Greetings and welcome to my dear Aquarius. This is Ron from Tarot of the Twin Sun. This is an energy reading for the energy of Aquarius. We'll be working with a singularity, which is a tool devised in order to see a timeless or spaceless event that may occur for you in the month of December 2020. This does not have to resonate with you. However, if it does, please note that this is out of the side of the light in which we pull for these cards, your energy. The energy of Aquarius, the 11th house, is now open. My name is Ron. I am working within the Tarot of the Twin Sun division, which is an operational division within the Order of the Twin Sun. I'll go ahead and get started now. Please clear your mind and relax. The 11th house is open. The singularity is now open. Interesting. Excuse me. The energy of that crowns you is the energy of Cancer. There is a small inkling here of you withdrawing. Okay? Withdrawing from the past, taking what you have from the past in order to find a sense of detachment, spiritual inclination towards healthy ways of observing your potential resources of fulfillment, your potential creative projects, potential relationships. You've taken one of them in an idealized way in order to be free. We have La Donna di Coppa, the woman of cups, or the queen of cups here. She pulls from the past. She pulls from a place that is, let's see, 5, 7. From a place of indecision, from someone who was very indecisive. They could not make a choice. And they were very resistant. Someone with Leo energies, your 7th house, someone that has to do with the 7th house, but then you are activated by the energy of the moon, big time. Meaning that there's something secretive about your way of going about things. You can be labeled in a very popular fashion as someone who is being avoidant. Not saying that you are avoidant. There's something about it that has a negative stigma, the avoidant thing, but it's typically Aquarian in nature to be somewhat suspended. Also, the nature of Cancer also to be suspended and to be isolated or removed in some sort of way. This is a story of removal. Okay. The simultaneity, the singularity involves the 4 of Cups in reverse. Where you are, where you're moving is to Il Papa, the Hierophant, in reverse. Okay, so what essentially I see here is a breakup of something disintegration, dissolution, getting away from something to be devoted to yourself, but also to be devoted to the path of detachment. But through detachment, you can still relish in the memories or in the ideas that have to do with your fulfillment, your creativity, your more feminine grace. Okay. There's also something about the cup cycle here, melancholy as well as um, trying to reason in an intuitive way, trying to be very observant of the cup cycle. Cups involve creativity, holding the ideas of humanity, emotive responses, empathy, okay? Because there's a lot of reversals here. There could be something about no longer being infused with confusion, being lost in confusion of different cycles of cups, but then also a type of relapse. There's a chance here that a promise is broken, either for a relationship, professional, or love, or perhaps some sort of project in which you were trying to create for yourself a sense of emotional outlet. Taking material forms, usually that's the Hierophant, taking material forms, vows or promises, grounded ways of approaching things. Okay, very Taurian energy here. That in which you value something. Finances can also be big here, but also modes of trying to understand yourself and how you've nurtured the past in some sort of way. Someone who's been very rebellious, but now no longer. You may be taking a path of self-empathy, if that is a term that exists. I doubt it does. But that would entail turning inward and being empathetic towards the self. If you can treat yourself as a separate entity, or if your mind can be separate from the self, there's an idea that your mind is possibly observing yourself, or your more emotional self is observing a lesser form of yourself, something that's been from the past in terms of uh, maturity. Okay. We also have here the Tower in reverse. Okay, if the Tower is in reverse here, and by the way, this is one of my favorite tarot cards. Fantastic tarot card. Look at that. 1983. They knew how to make them back then. It's called Catastrophe Repentina. So repentance of a catastrophic sort of design. Okay. Usually the sun comes in with a ray of light or something, a laser beam to destroy the tower. Okay, but there still is an existing tower here, like a coliseum or something, a way or a pantheon, a way of like bringing in culture, preserving culture, yet destroying that which is on, unsteady ground, or perhaps on the sea or something. Okay, there's a very earthy element towards this tower in this deck in particular. So the idea that the eclipses can be affecting you, I believe Gemini, Sagittarius energy is strong here. Also, the signs of Aries as well as Virgo are strong here, trying to assert oneself within the method of oneself. Okay, this is leading up to. A path of independence, I would say. So the tower is showing you how to be independent, especially by taking things or not taking them, being very wise with your emotional sort of investments, okay? This is leading to a type of melancholy, but a way of getting over melancholy by seeing the artificial nature of the way people behave around you when it comes to emotional responsibilities or irresponsibilities within emotions. You are learning, in a way, an ability to become devoted to something different, and perhaps you're becoming aware of your own particular nature towards reform of certain things that have to do with structures around you in society, or perhaps certain promises, or how you are relayed as someone who may be important in terms of your commitments to society or commitments towards reforming a type of emotional society, okay? Emotional society, a society of nurture in some sort of way. You may be awakening to a type of mother spirit here, okay? But I think you're doing so mostly within the Donna de Espada here. Donna de Espada, Vedovanza, which is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Very Aquarian energy, by the way. I've done more research on it. Queen of Swords can be, yes, somewhat Libran. Not so much Gemini, to be honest. But Libran, in that it is concerned with the other, but more on the 11th house. It is extremely cold and detached and very elevated. That's the energy of Aquarius, that most elevated out of the air signs. In terms of intelligence, they're the brightest. This particular Donna de Espada is very pissed off. She doesn't have to be, but she's just very serious, and that's the energy of Saturn within you. The energy of Saturn, and then Uranus dominating the sword of randomness, or perhaps the sort of the sort of wrist, a lot of wrist action with that sword. So the mode of action is you coming into places that either demean or that bring into knighthood anyone who comes on their horse and you are able to knight them in some sort of way through some sort of ritualistic ceremony. We have Il Cavallo di Spada, the knight of spades, the horse rider of spades here. Okay, so there's a type of ritualistic ritual, the Hierophant, sort of way of like you crowning people according to their own intelligence. Okay, could be a type of emotional intelligence, or perhaps you are smart enough not to delve into emotional intelligence, but there's a coldness in which you are trying to meet others, especially their offers, and see their offers for what they are. Okay, you're actually willing to partake into the future. You could be dealing with Tauruses, or perhaps anyone with air complexity. But what is like really bringing this in is a sense of inspiration, either through others or through your own inner fire. But I think something from the future is going to give you a big push on the unconscious realm, the subconscious realm. We have the Ace of Rods. At the same time, there is a balancing out effect. Deep down inside, you are concerned with the equal sort of fair play of the Six of Pentacles, in which there is a regal way in which you are able to receive or give, and giving is in a type receiving and vice versa. But some sort of energy exchange and balanced energy exchange is coming. Also, we have here the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Once again, an echo of the Tower in reverse. Some sort of falling out, or a way of avoiding something. And because of such, there has to be a type of awakening within yourself that has to do with the quelling, or the blocking of certain emotional responsibilities that you have to take care of when it comes to people offering you things in terms of faux commitments. Commitments that are not exactly true. They're not completely meant. So you have to be careful of people who come into your reality without being them sort of labeled as a prophet, or watch out for false prophecies or false sort of projections. Okay, I could be one of them, by the way. If I am, please dislike. At any rate, there's a revision here that has to do with emotional and emotionally infused ways of giving and receiving certain promises or commitments. Okay, and these are being in question to the point where you've decided in a way to move away from certain things, but you're still willing to go forward and keep looking. I think you might be very tired of this process, or if not tired, just very laissez-faire, very fair-handed, very very distant, very aloof in a way. And that's a good thing to be. But there also is a natural inclination for you to nurture things from the past, things that you've pulled from, maybe things that you pulled away from. What comes into the future is a bridge here that is based around the energy of the Three of Pentacles. Once again, the questioning of authority of a higher power, as well as of anyone who is trying to orchestrate things, or even your own self-projected design of the way things turn out in terms of commitments, are coming into question here. And it's very important to go with the flow, to not fight against things without a cause, okay? To really assert yourself in terms of your options, and there may be many of them. There is, and I would reckon there is an invisible hand here that is trying to help you and guide you, and it is a good force. So you can either allow that to guide you, or you can fight against it. Either way, there is a possibility for you to find a masterwork or a thread of mastery within the tapestry that is occurring for you now, or that will be occurring for you in the future. That is your reading, my dear Aquarius. Bye.